BMW X6 xDrive35i. Unrestrained styling, raucous power, and surprising agility define the X6, although its fastback design limits rare see-through and cargo space. A 300 horsepower 3.0-liter turbo inline S6 with an 8-speed automatic can be ordered with either rear or all-wheel drive. An audacious 445 horsepower 4.4-liter turbo V8 is optional and comes only with all-wheel drive. The standard driving dynamics control system allows for 5 distinct driving modes, and an available air suspension provides even more fine-tuning. Okay, we've been banging on about the strangeness of the BMW X6. A fastbacked, hatch-driven four-door coupe version of the X5 sports activity vehicle. Since it arrived as a 2008 model, 7 years of backfires comments comparing it to everything from the Pontiac Aztek to the 1980s AMC Eagle Spirit suggest readers agree with us that it's one odd automotive platypus. Yet more than 250,000 buyers worldwide heard the X6's siren call and took one home, sort of in the same way some people walk right past golden labs to adopt Chinese crested dogs, and in the way that patent leather work boots are a thing. That's just how the free market capitalist economy works. 250,000 isn't a huge number in the greater scheme of things, but it represents enough profit that BMW introduced the second generation X6 for 2015. More than that, it has extended the idea down market to the X4 and is even prepping an X2 for 2017. So all that's left to do is regard the X6 as part of the new normal. For us, that means taking it to the track for some numbers and then driving it around for subjective evaluation. Hey, it's at least as good a time as judging whether the new whiskey and haggis potato chips are as good as the chicken and waffles variety. The more things change, like the third-gen BMW X5 introduced for 2014, the new X6 rides the same 115.5-inch wheelbase as before. The fastback design has been updated with exterior character lines forecast by last year's X4, but these look better proportioned when stretched over the longer X6, which has gained 1.8 inches in overall length. The redesigned interior departs more dramatically from the past but not at all from recent BMW practice, with a prominent 10.2-inch screen taking center stage on the dash. It's coupled to the latest version of iDrive, which has evolved from its initial status as a horrific burden right on through manageable to a genuinely useful system. This example was graced with a $1,950 cognac interior design package that blended brownish red accents, black leather, and fine line striped with trim into a plush cabin ambience. It was a little more old school than some of our drivers might prefer, but as with most BMWs, there are many other choices, such as metal rather than wood trim. Remember when the cabin of a BMW was always a black hole with big daylight openings? That's the old normal. Reinvention for its own sake is not always fruitful, though. We still aren't big fans of BMW's latest thinking on the electronic automatic shift lever, with its side release button and complex array of choices that never seem to come naturally. But at least the X6 comes with paddles to manage manual gear selection. The rear seat now has a seat belt for a center occupant, where the previous model was strictly a four-seater. BMW correctly calls this 4+1 seating, this said to being uncomfortable for anyone but small children, who ought to be in a safety seat anyway. This back seat, the roofline precludes the cramped third row offered in the X5, folds in a 40/20/40 configuration, useful when cargo needs exceed the 26.6 cubic feet of space accessed through the hatch, which is no power operated. Not compromised by the styling is a towing capacity of 6,000 pounds, 48 pounds more than the X5 for unknown reasons, and BMW fansite message boards suggest that many owners actually use their X6s to pull a boat, camper, ATVs, or a trailer full of racing or collector cars. Maybe some of these folks are like us after all? If you don't need the enormous capacity of modern pickups or full-size SUVs, the experience of driving an X6 is a far more entertaining way to spend your non-towing road miles that it will tow, at least. is some justification for choosing an X6 rather than a more conventional vehicle. There's a BMW under there. The xDrive35i we tested employs the 300 horsepower straight-six with a twin-scroll turbocharger. Also found in the top X4 and in many other Munich offerings, this sweetly responsive 6 is the base X5/X6 engine and, for the first time, is also offered with rear-wheel drive, S-Drive and BMW nomenclature. Testing the all-wheel drive model makes for a tidy comparison with the X6 xDrive35i we examined back in 2008. The 300 horsepower and 300 lb-ft figures are the same, with mild differences in their delivery. Today's torque comes in a little earlier in the rev band while power peaks later. And the 08 model used a 6-speed automatic instead of today's 8-car box. The 8-speed was bestowed upon the X6 for 2011. BMW claims it invested heavily in weight reduction on the new platform and lists curb weights that average about 50 pounds less than before. Our 2015 test car was 298 pounds lighter than was the 08 on our scales, but the older car had optional equipment that wasn't primarily software-based, including beefy 20-inch wheels rather than the 19 inches on this example. In the sprint to 60 miles per hour, the 2015 X6 did the job in 5.7 seconds, a 0.2-second improvement over the 08 and 0.3 better than the X5 xDrive35i we tested just over a year ago. The square-backed model is heftier by a couple hundred pounds. The X6's advantage continued to 100 miles per hour and in the quarter mile, which this car did in 14.3 seconds at 97 miles per hour. The 08 X6 and the 14 X5 ran 14.6 seconds at 95 and 96 miles per hour. Where the 8-speed and the weight reduction really pay off big is in fuel economy. The EPA ratings of 18/27 mpg city highway represent improvements of 3 and 7 mpg. We saw a real-world 21 mpg in this example, the same as we got in the 2014 X5 and fully 5 mpg better than in our 08 testing. In braking, the new car stopped from 70 miles per hour in 168 feet, improving on the X5's 175-foot stop but not the previous model's 163. Perhaps that was due to the smaller wheel and tire? Skid pad grip ran out at 0.86 g whereas the 08 managed 0.88. The X6 out-cornered the 0.81 g we measured in the latest X5, though. Both cars had 19-inch wheels, but this one ran Pirelli tires and the X5 had Goodyear's, both all-season run flat designs, on the road. This all equates to a heavyweight that can get up on its toes and dance around the ring, but you'd best hope the opposite corner isn't occupied by a Porsche Cayenne. The BMW's steering is hefty but responds proportionally to inputs, and although it feels a mite too stiff-necked on center and gives no sense of road texture, it at least allows precise control for the demanding driver. The handling balance denotes this as a real BMW. It lacks the sculpture-like precision that marks the best Munich machines, but it's more entertaining than most any SUV short of that Cayenne. Checking the boxes if your neighbor's Porsche is your target, BMW offers the 445 horsepower 4.4-liter V8 in its X6 xDrive35i, which will score more nicely against Porsche's latest 420 horsepower Cayenne S. And there's an X6M for those who must rest atop the country club food chain. But now you're talking some long green, as in a 6-figure MSRP even as equipped, with more than $10,000 in options. This X6 fell short of the $75K that Stuttgart commands for an S. The basic 300 horsepower Cayenne starts at $59,295 with standard AWD. Beyond the interior design package, add-ins included $2,500 for the X-Line trim, differently styled 19-inch wheels and aluminum running boards, $1,300 for multi-contour seats, as well as $3,250 for packages labeled cold weather, heated rear seats and steering wheel plus retractable headlight washers, $550, driver assistance, rear view camera and head-up display, $1,400, and premium, passive entry, Fluorsoni automatic climate control, and satellite radio, $1,300. Another $750 added side and top view cameras for full surround vision on that big screen? A good thing in a car that can be difficult to see out of using the old analog Eisenberger's methods. You could go deeper, of course, and the most tempting option is M Sport. The first step into M Sport land brings mostly visual trimmings but then opens the door to the adaptive M suspension option, which includes the dynamic handling package with adjustable air suspension for the rear axle. The latter is available as a standalone option without M Sport. It would add more than $5,000 to the final tally, but you know going in that swimming with the big platypuses is never cheap.